Hello, welcome back to my repair pile series. Might be the last one for a little while because I'm gonna try to get all of the machines ready to go back to Paul's because it's getting closer to Christmas and he needs to work through them and get them ready to sell before Christmas. So I'm kind of in a little bit of a hurry, but I've got one more that I want to share with you. I did this one here off camera and I've fixed it, and this one I've labelled Nightmare. It had one bad RAM chip, which was a socketed MT RAM chip. U8, U13 and U25 are all bad as well. U13 and U25 are the multiplexers for the RAM. They were both MOS chips. They both had bad traces when I used the oscilloscope to have a look at those. They were quite obvious, but it still wasn't working. And then I realised I hadn't really checked the basics. I'd done the voltage, but I'd forgotten to check the reset line and the clock. The clock was there, but there was absolutely no reset. And I checked U8, which is a hex inverter, which takes the reset line from low to high and changes it to high to low, or the other way around. And it was, the input was there, but there was nothing coming out of it. And again, it was a MOS chip, and I just swapped it over, socketed it, and it all sprang back to life and got a full diagnostic pass, and the keyboard all works. Just needs a clean. Paul can do that. And that one's ready to sell. There are a few more MOS chips left in this one, so it might come back. But this one was one of the last ones that he sent back to me, and it had this lovely keyboard overlay on it. I really like it. It feels, I've actually just broken it. I'm sorry, Paul, that just went in my hands. It just cracked under the pressure of my fingers holding it. Oh, that's such a shame. I'm really sorry. Whoops. I'll put that safely to one side. Anyway, so we've got this machine here, which is power black screen, so it's got a power LED but no display. And when I turned it over, it looks like it's got, oh, these case clips are broken, but these ones are intact on this side. I've already taken the screws out, but what caught my eye is the RF shield is still in here. You can see it reflected in there. There's something that hasn't been messed around with before. All right, try not to damage any more case clips. Oh, there's only one set of case clips left on these. I'm getting very tired of fixing case clips. It's my least favourite thing to do. Excellent. That is really good news. So we've got all of the major chips are socketed. It's actually got a pre-MOS PLA. It's got a 1982 SID in it. A nice early MOS 6510. This is quite an early machine, this one. 83 on these. Nice ceramic packaged RAM. Let's have a look. See if it says made in Japan here on these. It's got this weird logo, and it's on these ones. These are all the same, but this one's not ceramic. There are no MOS logic chips. I think this one might just work. There's been a couple that he sent me that have just worked. So I'm just going to pop that back in there, plug it in, and let's see if it actually does anything. What do we get? Black screen. Okay, let's plug in the Des Test Max. Got a new version of this coming soon. Still nothing. Right, check for voltages first. Oh, we've got a display. I reckon the voltages are not good. Oh, that's 5 volts on that one and 12 on that one. 4.8 getting to the ICs. There we go, it's running now. I think the power switch is just probably a bit flaky, and it's possible that the capacitors just needed to reform a little bit. They're still not incredibly happy. Yeah, I don't think that's running quite yet. Right, we have got some bad bits showing this time. Those red stripes. One more go. Right, the next thing I'm going to try is just pushing down on some of these chips. The board's not very well supported. Nothing now. And if the VIC-2s come loose. No, that feels, they all feel good in their sockets. Let's just take the SID out. Just in case, just as a precaution. These look like they're absolutely on fire, but that's only 20 something degrees. It's quite cold in here. So my workbench is now 9 degrees. It's chilly. Yeah, CPU is a bit warmer than everything else. What's this glowing here? That's the color RAM, I think. 211, is it the 2114? Yep, that's the color RAM. It's often quite warm. It could be the way that it was displaying and then not displaying. Voltage regulators are doing what they should. I'm looking over here because right at the power switch, because if it is not giving voltage through, there's resistance will be there and will actually heat up the switch only marginally. You wouldn't be able to feel it, but you can see it with the thermal camera. Okay, well, we'd better check the basics then. Right, it off. See if we get reset. Yeah, reset's good. We got a clock and a good clock. All right, I think the thing to do then is to start popping these the CIAs and the ROMs out one at a time and see if that makes any difference. Nope. Nothing. Right, so the next thing I want to do is to take out the CPU, the PLA and the VIC-2 and try them in my test machine. I've not seen a I've not seen a PLA like this one. It's an 1982 33rd week. Right, first thing you do when you get a test machine out is make sure the test machine is working. Oh, for a second. I think let's go for the PLA first. Because, just because it might be a MOS one. I don't recognise it. It's just got an S on it. Yeah, that's working. Yep. CPU next. Ah, there we go. Looks like its CPU is bad. I'm just going to put this one back in here for now. I will check the VIC-2 while it's out of the board, just in case. Yeah, VIC-2's good. Right, let's pop my CPU out of here and we'll try this one in that board. So we're going to need a VIC-2, PLA, and a CPU, test cartridge because I haven't got any of the major chips in on Des test. Yeah. Wonderful. So that's all working as far as Des Test can see. So now I'll put back all of the major ICs and we'll run the full diagnostics. Let's put the SID back in as well. One of the ROMs is bad. Let's try Dead Test. Ha! Okay. What does Des Test make of that? So Des Test actually runs. Oh, with some corruption. I was going to use Dead Test because it seemed to be giving a clearer picture of a fault so that I could take out the ROMs and the CIAs one at a time until the fault cleared up. But Des Test just starts so much quicker. It's just more useful to run that, and it's showing a fault. So I'm going to pop these ROMs out one at a time. Probably find a bent pin that I made. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, it's still there. And not that one. It's got to be this one. Okay, keep going. There we go. So this CIA is the one that's causing the problem. Right, in that case, I'll put these ROMs back in. Just borrow a CIA from my test machine. Put it on normal diagnostics now. Yay! Both of the CIA timers are counting up correctly so far. I have seen them separate a little later in the test with a really marginal one. RAM tests are passing, and I can't hear a SID. Another SID gone. A different SID in and see if it makes a difference. I have a number of SIDs in here with M on them for marginal, but this one here with the 3 dots on, I know passes all of the diagnostics tests and makes some sound, but it's missing one of its channels, I think. But this is my diagnostics SID. It's not actually fit for use, but it does actually, let's go for no RAM check, but it does actually pass the tests, which is the only thing I really need here. Why is that stopped on there? Socket might not be good. I'm going to have to deoxit all of these sockets. So this still needs a little bit of work. One thing I need to do is salvage a CIA from a scrap board. I have one here somewhere. Nope, that one's already given up its CIAs. Right, I'll come back to this one then. I need to build a new SID. Let's take this one out. It's off, isn't it? I need to build a new SID for it. Clean out the sockets. Salvage a CIA and a CPU. I need to put the CPU back in my machine. One bad CIA, one bad CPU, one bad SID. So I need CIA, CPU and a SID. SID I'll have to build a SID kick Pico. Right, I had a look in my spares. The only chip I can find, well, there's a 6526 on here, so we've got CIA here. All the boards I've got are just getting very low on chips now. I know that all of the C64s that I've got here, not all of them are going to make it back. Some of them have got quite badly damaged cases where screw posts and things are missing. They could be brought back, but there's only so many chips to make up full working machines. So I need to actually triage all of them, go through and find out which ones have got the best cases and the best chances of survival, and prioritize those and just work my way to the worst cases, and then when I run out of chips, those cases are just going to have to go in the waiting pile for when we can get cheap CIAs and cheap CPUs, maybe made out of Picos. Be nice, wouldn't it? So I'll leave this one for now. I've kept a couple of the machines aside that are much more involved repairs that I've not, you know, I think, which was it? Number 4 in this series, not the 4th episode, but the number 4 C64 is unfixed, and there's number 6 is unfixed as well. I think that's a C64C. Those two put to one side, and they'll be featured later when I figure out what's wrong with them. And I think that might be it for now. I do need to get all of these fixed because I've only got a few days left before I want to take these back to Paul. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one, whenever that might be.